Welcome to this week's episode. Today I'm going to be concentrating on getting all of the rear end components back into tip-top condition. So, first things first, let's get the subframe torn down. I think it's safe to say that these lateral link bushings are definitely past their prime. So with the removal of the drive shafts from the diff, that ends the nuts and bolts phase of the teardown. Now what I'm going to do is remove the wheel bearings from the hubs and start removing all of the bushes from all the different parts we see here, so from the subframes, the arms, the hubs, etc, etc. So as there are nearly 30 of these bushes, I'm only going to show the removal of one, as the process to remove them is the exact same for every single part. And I don't think you want to see it repeated 30 odd times, so let's crack on, shall we? So with the wheel bearings and old bushes removed, it's time to move on to the rust removal stage. With all the rust removed and repairs done, I can now move on to the priming and painting stage. So you might be wondering why I'm choosing paint over powder coat. Well, there are two reasons for my choice. Number one is that I'm all set up for painting, so I can keep all the work in-house, which is always nice, as then I can control the quality of the work. Number two is that this car from now on will only be out on dry sunny days, so I don't need the extra durability that powder coat provides. Paint is more than adequate for my needs. Now with all of the parts painted and in the booth curing, I can turn my attention to the fixings. As you can see from my little pile here, they have all been de-rusted and polished. All they need now is a fresh coat of zinc and yellow passivate. You're probably thinking, why not just replace them with new bolts? Well, that's simply because there is nothing wrong with them, as you can clearly see. Obviously, any bolts that were damaged during removal will be replaced with new ones, but 90% of them are still as good as new. Now, on to the plating. As I said before, I will get around to making a plating guide, but for the moment I'll give another quick rundown for anyone who hasn't seen the process before. So I have 6 solutions here. This one is a cleaner to remove any oils from the part. This one is an acid to etch the part, and this is the plating solution itself. So what happens is the zinc travels from the anode through the plating solution to the cathode and deposits a thin layer of zinc onto the part that we're plating, which is these bolts in this case. So after the zinc plating solution, we come to these two baths. This is a yellow passivate and this is a blue passivate. If you put the part into the yellow passivate, depending on the length of time you leave it in there, you end up with a nice light yellow colour or a nice dark kind of gold colour. And if you go into the blue passivate, you just end up with a nice bright silver finish. The blue doesn't actually appear. And this is just a water bath to rinse the parts between the stages. So, let's do some plating. And with the plating of those last bolts, that marks the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed it and will join me again next week when I will be fitting all of these parts back into the car and getting it back on its wheels. And for those of you curious about where the ATC project is, it's still on the shelf. But I'm pleased to say that after the next Subaru video, I will be able to finish off the trike and reveal the next big project. So, please hit that subscribe button to be notified. As always, stay safe and I'll see you all again soon.